Hey everybody, Attorney Richard Seller here. New angle for the videos. Figure I'd switch it up a little bit. Wanted to talk to you a little bit today about the video I'm going to call, Why Aren't You Taking My Case? And it's a question that I get a lot from potential clients who feel that they've been, wrongfully fired, unfairly treated. And look, here's the truth. We get a lot of folks coming to our firm saying, hey, please help me. And obviously, we want to help everybody. We're in this business to help people. But the expression I always give potential clients from the moment one that I speak to them is as follows. There's a big difference sometimes under the law between unfair and illegal. And a lot of the cases that we wind up turning down are based on something terrible that's happened in the workplace, but that may just be unfair and don't rise to the level of illegal. So if you've seen some of my other videos, you've seen that I talk about what's illegal. You're being discriminated against for being pregnant, or you're being discriminated against because you're a person of color, or because you have a disability. All those sorts of categories, what we call protected traits, prohibit being discriminated on that basis. But what's not illegal in the Florida workforce is being unfair or just nasty to somebody. There's an old expression, it's not illegal to be a jerk, and that holds true. So a lot of the cases that we get and a lot of the cases that we ultimately wind up turning down is that the boss isn't being nice to a particular employee, or the employee got fired and they don't even understand why they got fired, or sometimes even the employer fires an employee but lies about the reason. Believe it or not, being a liar is not illegal either. So they always fall back, meaning the cases we take generally always fall back to whether what the employer did is actually illegal. Discrimination is illegal. Firing an employee for objecting to something that the employer is doing that's illegal is illegal. But just getting fired and disagreeing with it doesn't give a cause of action under Florida and generally not Florida law. The one exception that I'm going to give to that piece of advice is that if an individual has a contract with an employer that says, I can only be fired for reason X, Y, and Z, and the employee gets fired for reasons other than X, Y, and Z, we may be able to take that case. Another factor to consider is sometimes there is a violation of the law, but when we look at the case, we determine that the employer may not be collectible. Here's an example. We constantly see cases where employers don't pay employees final paychecks. And when I do a little bit of research on the company, it turns out the company shut their doors or went out of business. So clearly there's a violation there of the minimum wage or other laws. But unfortunately, I may not be able to do anything because the company's out of business. And the expression I always use there is, you can't squeeze juice out of a raisin. I know somebody that probably listens to that statement and says, Rich, that makes no sense. Or what is it? You can't get blood from a stone. So there are circumstances, business circumstances, that sometimes prohibit us from taking a case, even though there may be a violation of the law. Just from a business sense standpoint, the company's not around or they don't have enough money. Another issue we see all the time is my employer bounced my check. Listen, that's terrible. But what do you think is going to happen when we file a lawsuit? If they can't afford to pay you your check, they're going to bounce any settlement check as well. So unfortunately, lawyers sometimes, as much as we want to help everybody, also need to make business decisions on cases where we analyze it and say to you, yes, something here is illegal, but the reality of the situation is we're not going to be able to recover. So I know it's frustrating. Clients sometimes get frustrated when we can't take their case. What do you mean you're not taking my case? And going back to what I said initially, of course we want to help everybody. Listen, from a pure business standpoint, our business, how we get paid is helping people. So if I think there's a case, that we can help you collect on, of course we're going to take it. So I understand when you call us, you're frustrated, you've lost your job, your employer has stolen your pay. We want to help, but we can only help if the circumstances allow us, and I hope everybody understands that. But in any event, just a quick piece on that today. If you need any information, if you just want us to answer a question about something that's happening in the workforce, www.floridaovertimelawyer.com, or of course, you can always email me, richard@floridaovertimelawyer.com. Hope you like the different swing of angle today. I thought I'd spruce it up a little bit. Tree in the back, sunset painting. We keep things fun here. Have a great day.